Hey, today I'm really not sure what to talk about. I've had a rough 24 hours, kind of had a meltdown in therapy, and trying to figure out where I'm at emotionally, but at the same time, I found the structure I've given myself to work within during the day helps. So, I'm going to try to record one of these vlog things and see where it goes. I have been wanting to play retro games again. Specifically, I've been thinking about playing Landstalker because I've never finished it, but I've always had a fascination with that game. Earlier in the year, I beat Shinobi. Was it 3? Revenge of Shinobi? And Gunstar Heroes after literally maybe 25 years of playing them off and on. And it was deeply satisfying on Gunstar Hero, and really Shinobi too. They were two of my favorite games as a kid, and it felt like a door closing, which is a strange emotion. Where it's like I remember being a wee lad with my Sega Genesis in '95. Everyone else had the PlayStation and stuff, but our dad got us a retro console from one of our neighbors, and we would go to McKay's and buy games for like $2 or $3. So we had like 20 Sega Genesis games. Because they weren't collector's items at the time. They were literally just disposable entertainment, not ancient relics from a bygone era as they kind of became. But, Gunstar Heroes and Shinobi in particular were two of the main ones I loved. It's rather Gunstar Heroes is the one that I found is one of my favorite games, but I also don't think it's objectively perfect. Where like Mario 3, where it's like an unadulterated masterpiece. The random level, the board game level, is so random that it can really be a pain in the butt. The obsession with novelty is somewhat distracting in that every level has to have some kind of novel justification for itself to exist. But it also has one of the best styles and worlds it creates, and the fundamental mechanics are among the best. I almost prefer another game for the PlayStation, though, that was made by one of the guys who worked on the game before Gunstar Heroes was made. Panzer Bandit, I think. It was a beat 'em up, and it may be one of my top 10 games. I really like that game. It's up there with God Hand and Guitar Man and all those other kind of like classic games that really hit me in the feels. But I don't know. Door closing is a good definition of where it felt when I finished those this year. It was literally like, I think one of the things that's fascinating about video game culture is the trivial becoming sacred to a personal mythology, or like the way that people add so much meaning to disposable entertainment. And it's artfully made disposable entertainment as if anything's disposable. But it's kish and camp that signifies more than it should because of the age at which you are engaged with. I don't know. It's interesting to me, but I don't fully understand it. Just the way that we can't let things go away, even though they're going to. to let go. We can remember them as long as we don't forget, but even memory goes away. So it's hard to attach too much to the transient nature of existence. And I mean, that's an example of what causes it, is that, like, you have all these people who project their entire life's history onto a game they played at the same time that they were existing. Like, it's like, I remember I had my first friend, and that's why Earthbound's the best game ever. And it's like, it's probably just attachment. Just literally, I don't know. I mean, art does change through enrichment, but at the same time, like, I feel like there's too much projection onto the idolatry or the creation of sacred objects out of trivial playthings. The Mother is really good series. I beat all of them, I think, now. Mother 3, 2, and 1 on the NES. I beat the 20th anniversary hack of Mother 1. And that was literally one of the better games I've ever played. I still love the album. I mean, that's one of the best things to do with the Mother series, is the album of original songs by the guy from the Moon Riders, who did the soundtrack to Mother 1. And I don't know, I mean, it's been an odd day. A lot of what's on my mind is about, I wanted to originally talk about prayer, but I didn't know if I had enough to say on it, because prayer is basically submission and communication with God. And it's like, prayer is a very sacred thing. And that made me think about how people attach all this meaning to trivial things. But then, in a strange way, nothing's really trivial in life. It's literally like, the more you remove yourself from trying to judge things beyond, I mean, my whole existence, I exist because my parents made a funny face at the same time or something. I mean, it's like, it's literally like, we're byproducts of selfish indulgence. And we apply sacredness to our lives, trying to understand how such trivial things as us can have importance in the context of the universe. Some would argue that we don't, but as a Christian, I think that if God's willing to sacrifice himself and suffer death for us, then we must matter. But I know not everyone shares that opinion. I don't know, I mean, I'm just in a weird place. I want to talk about my meltdown, but it's personal, and I don't feel the internet is the safest place to talk about psychological problems in a nuanced way on a personal level. It's one thing to try to change the perspective on what mental illness is by talking about it in general terms, but it's another to try to talk about a specific instance with real people in a rough situation and what that means to the person it happened to. But I don't know. I just don't. Honestly, I probably don't need to post one today, but I really want to keep up the trend of posting one a day. So I probably will post this, but just know that I'm aware this is not the best vlog. It's just literally me saying, I'm in a rough spot, here's some random thoughts that came from that. And peace and love. Take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow.